Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. To open this morning's webinar, the Australian dollar is attempting to restore its bullish bias after a failed attempt that we've seen here for a couple of days now towards that 75, 60, 80 region. On the day, I see intraday resistance at 75.80 and firmer resistance, if we go to the dailies, at 76.30, which is around this region here, where we broke down recently. In light of this trend, you can see here the market is clearly overbought and the histogram is slowly declining. This in turn suggests that we're not too far away from a bear phase, and a break beneath 74.60 would give further risk to the downside, as you can see here I've outlined. Intraday though, support comes in at 75.15.20 with resistance, as I mentioned, at 80, and as I still view to sell into strength, and unless we do get a break above 76.30, then the overall view is bearish. With the dollar index slightly weaker on Friday, it gave momentum for the euro, and as you can see here, now looking towards the resistance of 107.25 as minor, and firmer resistance at 107.45.55. It is viewed that towards that region and beyond to 108.20.50, the market should find good resistance around here. I believe this is the last phase to the bull run, and with a US dollar bull phase not too far away, should see further failed upside challenges on the market, eventually looking back towards the downside with the support coming in now at 106.45, and beneath there the support coming in at 104.55.75. So this week, if we see a break of 105.70.85, then further weakness is seen, as I mentioned, with the downside objective to 104.55 and reassess from there. The dollar yen story still remains weak after the recent rebound off that 112.50 level, failed to sustain above the 115 handle, and now weakness coming into this morning could see the challenge of 114.10. Now it is viewed beneath there, two supports still hold at 113.70 and 112.50. Now there's those two levels that are seen as key supports, and as long as we maintain above 112.50, then the bull phase is still very much looking towards the upside and taking out those highs around 118.60.65. Sterling still very much after its enormous rally on Tuesday, mainly triggered from Theresa May of talking about the Brexit, is the fact that the 200-point decline has now taken 2 days to recover. I still feel that the market will fail towards the top side, but as you can see here from the daily, we should not discount challenges towards 123.90 to 124.50.65. But as I mentioned, I do expect to see this region fail and eventually look back towards the downside, with immediate support coming back in at 123.10 to 122.20 to 121.65.70, and reassess from there. The gold story, since this enormous uptrend seen from 11.30 now comes to a top around 12.18 to 24. It is viewed that the market, although slight bias coming into this morning of a bull move, should struggle, as we recently saw on Friday, of 11.15 high. I can't get too bullish with gold at the moment, purely for the fact is that the market's driven, as you can see here, from many black candles to this uptrend, and now is actually starting to fade, and with a declining oscillator in the MACD should provide further weakness, with the immediate support to the downside still holding towards 12.03 to 11.96 to 11.88, and reassess from there. And to wrap up with oil, still looking for this bear move towards this 49.60 region, while the resistance is capped at 54.60. And as you can see here, we are still holding to a negative bias in the short term, we should see supply returning this week. So that wraps up my daily video. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, look out for my intraday report that will be released very shortly.